to the entertainment Talking Sports.
What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video. Hope everybody's staying safe out there. And in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the rookie contracts that were not extended during the period. As Giants fans, we knew that this day was coming, being that we had 2 first-round rookies from the 2017 draft class entering the 4th year of their rookie deal. Now, of course, if you're a first-round pick in the NFL, the team has the option to extend you on the 5th year of a rookie contract. And usually, if the player's playing up to what you expected, you will retain those players, which is why the New York Giants, even with Evan Ingram's injury history, decided to extend him. And they also decided to extend Jabril Peppers, who, of course, they acquired in the Odell Beckham trade. Now, a lot of big names have come out where teams have not extended them on the 5th year option of their rookie deal. 4 out of the top 5 picks from the 2017 draft will, as of now, probably become free agents. Last year, the biggest name that was not extended was Conklin of the Tennessee Titans. Well, the guy that I think that fits the New York Giants the best, that may hit the open market, and I think he will, is going to be that man right there, Corey Davis, who was the number 5 overall pick in the 2017 draft, and he's been a decent pro. Has he lived up to the number 5 pick overall? No, but he'd fit the New York Giants offense perfectly. There are 4 out of the top 5 picks in that draft are set to hit free agency and were not extended on the 5th year of their rookie deals. The other being number 2 overall Mitch Trubisky, who's been a complete bust with the Chicago Bears, Solomon Thomas of the San Francisco 49ers, who certainly was not worth the number 3 overall selection, and Leonard Fournette, the running back out of Jacksonville, who had a strong rookie season, but since then has not lived up to the draft selection, and he's not worth the money that he would command if they were to extend him on the 5th year rookie option. So all 4 of those guys, including Corey Davis, will hit the open market. The only one that makes sense to me that the Giants would have any interest in is Corey Davis. Of course, we have Saquon Barkley at the running back position, and I know Leonard Fournette's going to at least, I would think, be looking to at least split carries on his second deal. Mitch Trubisky, obviously, we would have no interest. And Solomon Thomas, to me, is a guy that's kind of, we have a lot of guys like him already on the roster. He's 280 pounds, and he's kind of a 3-4 defensive end. That's kind of one of our strengths on the defensive side of the football, and he's been incredibly underwhelming. Corey Davis, well, he has been underwhelming, did have a pretty good year in his second season. Last year, he did regress a bit, but some people point to the fact that he didn't have great chemistry with Ryan Tannehill. He's tall, he could go up and catch the 50-50, and he seems like the type of wide receiver that would fit this offense perfectly. His player comparisons coming out of college were to Eric Decker, was one of the greatest collegiate wide receivers in the history of the sport while playing at the MAC, and we're going to get into those numbers in a second. Just want to pull this up about Corey Davis. Here is what I read off of CBS Sports. The former number 5 overall pick, and if you remember correctly, that was the year that the New York Giants signed Brandon Marshall in free agency. The Giants had a lot of interest in this kid. Now, of course, they didn't get the opportunity to select him. They were picking, all the way back at the end of the first round, but they had a lot of interest in this kid. Corey Davis went earlier than people anticipated. But this is what they had to say about him. It's hard to justify a $15.68 million option when Davis hasn't had a true breakout season. In the 2019, his production was on par with the number 2 wide receivers, 43 receptions, 601 yards, and 2 touchdowns. As the 2019 second-round pick, A.J. Brown, was becoming quarterback Ryan Tannehill's favorite target. So it's not that Corey Davis is a bad player. He's just not worth what his rookie contract would suggest that he would be making if they were to extend him on the 5th year deal. And the Tennessee Titans have shown as recently as last year that they're willing to let players leave. And of course, they just paid Derrick Henry, they just paid Ryan Tannehill. My guess would be, especially with them drafting Brown last year and him being pretty successful, that they would not keep Corey Davis after this season, making him a free agent. And he would be a guy, like I said, that would fit the New York Giants offense very well. He's 6'3", known as not the fastest guy in the world, but known as a guy that definitely has enough speed to get down the field on a vertical route. And a very polished wide receiver. That was the book on him coming in, and a guy that had great production in the end zone. You look at this, he set the record for the most yards ever in the history of college football for a career well at Western Michigan. He had over 1,400 yards each of his last 3 seasons, 1,500 yards and 19 touchdowns. Yes, I know the MAC is not a Power 5 conference, but still incredibly impressive, which is why he was the 5th overall wide receiver drafted. Now, while he's been in the NFL, His only full season was in 2018, where he nearly eclipsed 900 yards. He had 891 yards and 4 touchdowns. So a pretty solid season. Last year, he took a step back. He only started in 11 of the 15 contests, had 601 yards. Now, of course, the Tennessee Titans are not an air-it-out offense, right? And he may not fit that offense as well as he may fit the Air Coryell and what Jason Garrett is trying to institute. But if the New York Giants feel that there's not a wide receiver in next year's draft that they would be able to obtain where they're going to be picking in the first round, that they don't think may be able to make a major difference, Corey Davis could be that very high upside free agent that the New York Giants could potentially look to and bring in on a short-term contract, more, kind of like a prove-it 2 or 3 year contract, especially if they plan to cut Golden Tate, who would carry a $5 million dead cap, and it would kind of free up Sterling Shepard if he was able to remain healthy to play where he's intended to play, which is in the slot. But with Golden Tate on the roster, it kind of prohibits him from doing that. You would then have 2 tall targets on the outside with Darius Slayton at 6'1" and Corey Davis at 6'3", who I think would really fit this system very well and give Daniel Jones a good target down the field when trying to throw, the vertical passing routes deep down the field. So I think he's an intriguing free agent option. By no means am I saying that the New York Giants are going to do this, but I do see it as being a pretty good fit if he does hit the open market next year. I'm not surprised that they did not extend him, because that price tag for Corey Davis's production is just not nearly enough. But you also got to factor in that he had Marcus Mariota throwing him the football. Marcus Mariota at this point is a backup in the NFL, has been a very underwhelming quarterback while in the league. He also played in an offense that focused heavily on running the football with Derrick Henry. They have not had an air-it-out offense since he's been there, so it's not the best situation. Could be a very nice fit for Daniel Jones if he does hit the open market in 2021. So I want to get a quick video up on that, talking about the possibility of a guy that the New York Giants may be able to target when they hit free agency. I'm going to have a video up probably in a couple of days, maybe a week, talking about the New York Giants' projected cap space and some free agents that they could target. But being that this is recent news and the Titans decided not to keep Corey Davis, this is one guy that I could see the Giants, if they decide to focus on the wide receiver position in free agency in 2021, that they very well may look to bring onto this football team. As always, guys, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe, drop a comment, maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.